This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
So, fresh off, and thank you for your concerns as regards the Dream 65. So, a lot of folks have been saying that part of the charm of the Dream 65 is certainly the cab section. Now, I'm not here to tell you that the UA cabs are not great. So, in this video, I mean, UA made some kind of bold claims about this being the most accurate kind of 65 deverb thing out there. So, let's put it against the Fractal FM3. Now, my contention is that you do need to keep cabs the same to get a true sense of what the amp modelling could be like, good or bad. But I'm going to, do it with the same cab and also without, so you can get a sense for what that sounds like. It's also super difficult to sort of dial these tones in if you don't have them going through the same unit and the same cab, because you've got kind of no apples to apples comparison. That's why I think generally people do this, keeping the IRs the same. But let's just try and satisfy this curiosity. So I'm using the Oxford in the Dream 65, and then I'm using a 57 and 121 cab within the FM3. I'll see what they sound like first of all. Maybe I'll try and dial them in a bit closer if I can, but that's what we got going on in this video, and see if any of you prefer any of them. I think everyone considers Fractal to probably be tip of the spear when it comes to kind of amp modelling. I don't think that's contentious. Kemper don't actually model amps, so they're not really in that equation. Get on with it. perspective, when you hear them with completely different cabs, which are impossible to match, different IRs and everything, they sound quite different. And compared to one another, maybe a little weird. When you bring them closer together, I can actually make some sort of conclusion which is possibly useful. So I think the thing that people mention when they're talking about the feel of the Dream 65 pedal is that there's a more hyped low end. It's got that moving air thing, and this might be sort of down in the sub-octave region or sub-bass region, somewhere around 150 hertz around here. And maybe this is what people are liking about it. Now, this is something that we can dial in with other units, and it may or may not be more accurate. I think what people miss, and this is the sort of conclusion that you can take from these kinds of experiments, is that when you go to a modeling device, some of what is not present is that room kind of heft, the low end heft stuff, and that is what the Dream has more than the Helix, and it has more of it than the Fractal FM3. When you dial in the amp models to be, sort of similar tone stack wise, similar gain wise, or as close as I can get as a human, still in the EQ, I think you might agree that there's a bit more of that kind of pushing, and so you could dial that in if you wanted to. Hopefully that's kind of a decent enough conclusion. I do think that the Dream certainly seems, in my estimation, to hold up really nicely with Fractal and with Helix. So if you're looking for a really kind of great deluxe reverb kind of emulation, then look no further, I guess.